Hello again, everyone. So we just worked on forming our embouchure, okay, without the saxophone mouthpiece at all. Well, now we're gonna incorporate the saxophone mouthpiece to that. You've already assembled it. You've made sure your reed placement is great, right? Remember, check the bottom right there. Make sure that's in the middle. Make sure the tip of the reed is lined up on the rails. And of course, turn it sideways. Squint with one eye and double check that tip of the reed is matched up with the tip of the mouthpiece. Make sure your ligature is pulled down to that line. You could even go a little farther if you wanted. And then tighten it up so that the reed doesn't move around. Okay, so remember we did who, right? Okay, so maybe pause the video and practice that a couple more times. Okay, so now that you've done that, we're gonna actually put this in our mouth. So the first thing you wanna do is kind of put your top teeth on the top surface of the mouthpiece. Now, you guys have these mouthpiece patches, okay? Usually I put these on my students' mouthpieces for them in person, but since everything is virtual right now, that's proving difficult. But I have a feeling what I might do is have a day where y'all come over and I put the patches on for you. So, but we'll see about that. Okay. So I'm going to stick this patch on, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. So I've taken this mouthpiece patch and I've cut it in half, okay? And I don't know if you can see where I placed it, about right there, okay? And the reason I did that is that I want to use this patch as a little like bumper or a guide, okay? So your top teeth are going to go up to that patch. So watch. So it kind of like stops the mouthpiece from coming in too far. Okay. So how far you put the mouthpiece in your mouth is going to change the way the reed vibrates. And then of course the way you sound and the way the saxophone performs. So how far the mouthpiece goes in your mouth is super important. And if you do it this way, it kind of trains you to do it the same way every time. So it's, you know, like this. So it's not like one time you're like this, next time you're like, or next time you're like, so we want it to be in this one particular spot. And everybody's a little different, the way our jaws are shaped and everything. So where I put everyone's patches is going to vary a little bit, depending on the shape of your jaw and if you have any kind of overbite or anything like that. I have actually a little bit of an overbite. So my patch usually goes a little farther on than I put this one on, but this is generally about the spot. Okay, and actually I don't even have a patch on my mouthpiece anymore. I haven't had one for years because I learned how much mouthpiece to take, and then now I don't really need that anymore. It's almost like training wheels on a bike, and then eventually you take them off and it's fine. So but that's what I want you to use this patch for, okay? It's like a stopper for your teeth. Okay, so your top teeth go there, and then you're gonna kind of just ever so slightly roll your lip in just a little bit, not like the, you know, also not that, but okay. And if your bottom lip is incredibly important in how we form it. If you're forming it correctly, we should be able to see a little bit of the pink part over here on the corners, okay? Okay. I'm pushing down with my top lip. My chin is flat. My corners are coming in. And you can see a little bit of my lip there. If you can't see any of the lip there, like you're rolling your lip in way too far, and then that's going to muffle the reed. It's not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to get the reed to vibrate well. It'll vibrate, but not correctly. If you have your lip rolled out like this, where we can see the shiny part or the wet part of your inside of your lip, that's not rolled in enough. That's rolled out too far. So we don't want that either. Okay, that's bad. So you should just see just a tiny bit of the pink part of your lip right there. Okay. All right. So that's basically how we get that. And then you're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the reed with your lower lip, just a little bit of upward pressure. it's designed that you have to give it a little bit of pressure. Like, so the reed and the mouthpiece are needing you to do that so that it'll operate correctly. So now I'm going to do that hot T breath, right? Notice when I do the T, I'm kind of forming my embouchure. Okay, here I go. So you can see there's a little bit of the pink part of my lip. And it's funny, when I took the mouthpiece out, I don't know if you saw that my lip was white right there, because that's actually the pressure I'm applying. See that? That's like, there's no blood there for a second. And then when you take it out, it comes back. So that's very normal. So that's basically the first sounds we make is just on the neck and mouthpiece. And in the next video, I'm going to get into more detail on what I just did.